So this is Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out with former WBC World Flyweight Champion looking to become two-weight world champion as we speak. Charlie Edwards, 17-1-0. How are you doing, sir? Are you good?
Yeah, doing very well, thank you. Just out at my home in Portugal at the moment. Come back here a week ago. Just have a bit of downtime with the family. Sort out a little bits and bobs over here with the house renovations and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not complaining really. Since I've been out here, I've got wind that I might be fighting for something big. I can't really discuss that yet as such, but in the not near future. So, everything's looking good. Like, I can't complain. I'm in a good place. After my last fight, I feel full of confidence again after the last training camp with my new coach, Joe Gallagher. Got the hunger, determination and strive back to the sport. And everything's good. It's all systems go now. 2022 is going to be a massive year, and a year that I believe that I'll become a two-weight world champion.
Exciting. Now, obviously, as you're kind of hinting towards that's your goals and there's something big on the horizon. I'm not going to ask you who or what opponent it's going to be, but can you do you have an idea of what weight class that'll be? Because I know after your last fight, super fly or bantam, is that? Do you know which one it'll be if you are to get a world title?
It's looking like my next fight's going to be at super flyweight.
Okay.
So it's looking. I'm just waiting on the I's and the T's to be crossed and everything to be presented to me to whether we're going to proceed with this or not. It's looking good. I don't see why we won't be proceeding with it. My management team, MTK Global, are very positive about it. So it's looking good. It's looking very good, and it will be at super flyweight. My last fight out was at bantamweight. I could make that weight very comfortably, but I realised that, you know what, with an extra little push, I can do super flyweight, and that will be my most dominant weight up at world level. No disrespect to my last opponent, he was European level. He fought for the EBU title. So it was good to get in there and get back into the ring after such a long time out, another year and 4 months out of the ring. But it was good, like teaming up with my new coach Joe. It really, really has changed me as a fighter again. It's really brought everything back. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving it. I'm thriving in the gym. So it's all systems go, like I said. It's a really exciting year. I've got the experience now. I'm developing my man strength. I'm at a weight where I feel very comfortable and strong at. And I'm coming into the peak years of my career. You know, I'm 28, going on 29 in February. People think I'm older than I am because I've been around this boxing game for a long old time. But everything's in a good place. I'm physically, emotionally, and mentally stable. And that's the most important thing. My mental side of the sport has come back. I feel very confident now. Like I said, teaming up with Joe, being in the gym with all the other great fighters, it's where I needed to be. And I'm looking forward to the next few steps now. And I definitely believe, and I'm excited about this year because I do believe I will become a two-weight world champion.
That's really good to hear. And as you mentioned briefly there, obviously on an MTK show last time out, round 2 stoppage, it was very appealing for the viewers. Although, like you say, it wasn't an opponent at your level. Are we going to expect to see you on an MTK show next? Is it going to be Pabellum? Is it going to be? Do you know who you're going to be fighting under? I am a free agent at this moment in time, and that's good, and it's blessing. Me and Frank, we're not together no more. I'm managed by MTK Global, and they're the best management team in the game. So I've got deals on the table, and we're currently in talks with Probellum and a few others. So it's just where the best opportunity arises. Like I said, we've got an opportunity presented to us that is a very good opportunity, and it's we're just waiting for the last kind of full deal to be pushed my way, the I's and the T's to be presented to me, and then we can make our decision to make our mind up. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but Sonny's a free agent as well. What do you think it is about you two? Do you think you just got good business knowledge, and that's the reason for agents looking for the best deal for every single fight that you both have, both of you brothers? I
think we both have the best management team behind us in MTK Global. You know, we've got great advisors and great businessmen around us giving us advice. I'm a former undefeated world champion at flyweight, and Sonny is the IBF world champion at flyweight, and he's looking to go to do the massive fights now and unify it and collect the other titles, while I've moved up to super flyweight / bantamweight and looking to get another world title. So it just made perfect sense. It made real perfect sense for me and my brother becoming free agents, seeing and playing our cards right. Like we've become a big marketing brand, the Edwards brothers in the UK. Two brothers who have both been world champion. And I don't think it's ever been done that two brothers in Britain have held the world title at the same time. So we want to make history, and this is the year to do it. And to be able to be free agents now and like sit down and assess the best moves for both of us, because we come as a pair really, and that means our market value as two is better than one. We can fight on the same shows. We can go and fight world-class fighters. We've got very different styles, so people like to tune into both of us. And we've got different personalities. So I think if we can play our cards right, like the world is really our oyster.
And talking of Sonny, he's had obviously a fantastic 2021, becoming world champion, defending that belt. He's just been going from strength to strength.
Yeah, most definitely. I said it years ago, even before I become world champion, and I was on the up and coming, and I was getting a lot of the headlines and lines from the Sky Sports and everything. And I always said, when people used to ask about my brother, I said, you know what? He is one of a very, very talented fighter. He's one of these throwback fighters you don't really see often. He's like the kind of like, he boxes, and his winning mentality and his style and his boxing IQ, it's like a kind of Floyd Mayweather kind of style. Like you don't see many fighters who can move, assess situations, get out of danger, and make people miss. And although my brother isn't a big puncher, he makes people pay, and it keeps them off. So he gets respect. So yeah, I've always said it about him. A very, very talented, very gifted fighter. He has always been, from the young age in the amateurs, coming all the way through. He might not have got the rub of the green when he got to the Olympic qualifiers and that, but he's won a lot all along the way, and he's always been a very, very high talent.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching Sonny fight. One more thing on him. Do you know how close he is to getting this Julio Cesar Martinez fight?
I think it will be this year. I do. Like, let's be real. It makes a good background story. Look, I should have been in the ring with Julio that night. I really shouldn't have. My weight was atrocious, how I made it weeks in advance. I really shouldn't, but I kept things to myself, and I didn't let the team know. And until obviously the weigh-in, when everyone see how bad it was. But I really should have probably pulled out, but pride and ego got in the way. But Sonny has got everything to beat that kid. Sonny's at a weight where he's very strong, and if anything, he can make the weight so easy. Like he can grow into that weight. So I believe that will happen by the back end of the year. And with the backline story and everything, it calls for a massive fight. Not only because of what happened to me with Julio Martinez, and then but now he's WBC champ and Sonny's IBF champ. So it's a unification fight, which is massive. It'll probably be for the Ring Magazine belt, with all that backline story and the way Sonny's probably going to give it to him in the press conference and get in his whole team's head. It's going to call for a big flyweight fight, and probably one of the biggest fights in the era of flyweights of the late days.
Yeah, that's a really exciting fight. You've touched on your relationship with Joe Gallagher. I watched your interview with Andy a couple of days ago, and it seems like you had a nice blossoming kind of natural relationship that was built from when you've always kind of known him and been like mates with him. But how did it all come about? I believe you were in Portugal and you kind of met up with him a couple of times.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, when me and my wife made the decision to come to Portugal, I was on the back end of like hating the sport of boxing, hating everything that had happened to me, albeit from my own choices, because I shouldn't have fought, but I had to live with the decision I made, and I had to learn, I had to battle through it. And it was a rocky, hard journey for me, like becoming hero from zero overnight, from all the social media abuse I got, and people taking the piss and that. I mean, and it got to me, like it got to me, it really did. And it's made me a stronger person now, and I can only look at myself back then and kind of laugh at myself to think I let it get to me so much. But it's made me a stronger person. But I was at a point where I was like, I've achieved what I've achieved. You know what I mean? Like I'm financially good. Yeah, I've made great investments. You know, and I was just thinking, what am I doing this for anymore? Why am I giving myself to everyone? Like, why am I allowing people to affect me emotionally? Why do I give my life and dedicate my whole life and miss out on everything? And I was in like kind of a limbo bit of land. Obviously, my daughter had just been born as well. And at the time, me and my brother had a big falling out as I was leaving Steel City Gym. And I decided, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm done with this. Like, let's move. Let's make our own life. Let's create a life that we want for our daughter and our family life moving forward. With COVID and everything on, I fell out of love with boxing because I didn't like performing behind closed doors. And I thought, if this is it, I'm not doing it, because I've not been in boxing because I like fighting. I've been in boxing because I like the buzz and the entertainment factor of when I'm in a kind of dance rhythm state in the ring where everything is flowing and all the energy is flowing through me. That's what I enjoy about boxing. I don't enjoy just having a fight. Like, and that's what it felt. It just felt like it was just like, there's no point in this behind closed doors. So I kind of my head was at it with that as well. And then we just decided, you know what, let's make the move. Let's jump ship. We wanted to be in a hot, sunny country. Portugal seemed like the best idea for us. Christine's mum lives out here, so it gives them help for Sophia as well. And we just decided to go. We come over here. In my head, I was like, nah, I'm done with it. I can't be asked with this no more. I've given it my life. Like, now it's time to enjoy my family life and not miss out on everything with my daughter and create great memories. But we got here, looked around, finally got our dream house. We moved in. Along the way, a lot of hardships. I continued to train because I like training for my own mental health and for my own feelings. Like, so I was continuing to train. I kind of knocked boxing on the head, but I was running, I was doing weights, I was doing circuit group sessions and that, and I was enjoying it. And that's probably why now, coming back into the sport, I feel stronger, because I've allowed my body to recover, develop and grow from making them malnourishedly silly weights for too many times in a row. So then we got here, and one day I was sitting on the balcony in Portugal at one of these rental apartments that we was at while we was looking at a house, and I was just like to my missus, babe, do you know what? This don't fucking sit right with me. I feel like I'm sitting fucking here in Portugal in this lovely place, and I feel depressed. I feel like I'm wasting my fucking potential sitting here. Like, I'm looking at all these fights going ahead. I'm looking at Sonny going to win his world title. I'm looking at all these other fighters on the TV and thinking, do you know what? What am I doing wasting my time? What am I doing here? And it made me think. It made me relight my fire. And I was like thinking about boxing and started going down the gym. And one of the lads down here in the Algarve Fight Academy started doing pads with him, and started to get a bit of enjoyment about it again. And then all of a sudden, while I'm out in Portugal, Joe, because we're friendly, he was sending me a few messages going, I'll try this place, try this restaurant, that restaurant. It's really nice. You'll enjoy it there. And then I got chatting, and he was like, "Oh, what's happening with you anyway? When you next out?" And I said, "You know, I just laid it on the line. I said, you know what, Joe? Like, I'm in two minds whether I want to do it or not. If I'm honest with you, I don't know if I feel like my confidence has gone. I'm not sure if I'm enjoying it anymore. Like, I'm out here trying to get on, like, just family life." And he was like, "Oh, I'm out in a few weeks anyway. Let's have a proper catch up." So we went and had a catch up with him, and then when he come out, I just made a joke because I kept thinking about it, and I was like, before he come, I was like, "Joe, don't forget your pads." And he went, "Oh yeah, all right, then I'll bring them." And he come, and then we done a bit of training together for a week, which I really respected, because like, he was on his holidays, and we met at the gym 4 times in a week, and we done some training, some pads. We spoke, we went out for food, we had a coffee. I laid it all on the line, how I was feeling emotionally and everything about the sport and what happened to me and the politics of boxing and stuff like that, because I was naive to it. And he just put his arm around me, and he like was there for me, supported me, and he just said, he looked me in the eyes and said, "Look, Charlie, do you want to know the truth? Like, I believe that if you walk away from boxing right now, he said, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. He goes, the talent that you possess, the work ethic that you possess, the experience you've gained through all these years, and now coming into the peak years of your career, you're only going to get better and better and better. So if you do, you're going to regret it. And it spoke sense. I knew it deep down, but to hear it from someone and feel like, right, like, I feel like I'm being taken under the wing here of someone who I've respected so much throughout the years. Like, I've gone up and sparred with Paul Butler for his world title training camps, and I see Joe as one of the best coaches in the sport of boxing, winning the Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year, the British Trainer of the Year twice, I think. So working with all the fighters he's worked with, it really felt like it made me happy and it made me buzz again. And he said to me before he went, he said, well, Charles, how do you feel? I was like, yeah, do you know what? I really enjoyed it. You know, like, I realized that I've got far too much to give to this sport. Like, I can't. And he was like, all right, then, well, if that's how you feel, let it settle, let the dust settle and everything. And if you keep thinking to come back to the UK, come in the gym and meet everyone in the gym, train in the environment, see how you feel, and go from there. And like, it was just on my mind all the time. I spoke to my missus and said, listen, I said, we really got into our new house. We was like 2 or 3 weeks moved in. And I was like, babe, do you know what? We need to go back to the UK. And she was like, I knew it would happen. So we jumped back to the UK, got into training camp. I was in training camp for my last fight for about like 14 weeks because I wanted to go and get settled with Joe first. Obviously, I've got a lot of stuff I need to sort in the UK with my house in Sheffield, and I'm moving up towards my gym in Bolton now as well. So there's a lot more going on behind the scene. But Joe said to me, I walked through them doors and I was just like buzzing. I was like, this is where I need to be. And even through my last training camp, there was rocky situations. Like, I'm not going to lie, like, where I was, my wife and my baby stayed over in Portugal, and I really thought I had to go away. On my own and just focus, no distraction. And I went for 5 weeks. And I ended up going back home for the weekend just to split up a bit. And I broke down. I was like, I can't do this on my own. I'm driving myself insane. I'm going to the gym. The gym's great. Training's great. I'm going home to the apartment and just sitting on my own, bored all day, like climbing the walls, overthinking things, like missing out on my daughter's upbringing. Like, she's seeing like the dolphins for the first time. She's crawling. She's starting to take steps, and I'm missing it and just seeing it on videos. And it was emotionally hurting me. I went back, broke down for the weekend. Mrs. spoke some sense into me, went back, spoke to Joe, said where my head was at. He spoke more sense into me. And then I decided to bring my family back for the last 5 weeks of training so I could be around my daughter during the day and my wife. And it just took my level and it lifted me again to another level. And I realized, like, going future in the moving forward in the future, I do need my family around me. And I'm not prepared to do this sport if I'm going to miss out on my daughter's upbringing. So we've orchestrated things where now I'm buying a house up in near Bolton, so we can literally just like jump between the two. So my downtime, we can be out here in Portugal, and I can enjoy relaxation and quiet, calm life. And then when they come back to England, it's work time, and it all worked well. Obviously from the last fight, but yeah, I've got to thank Joe, and he knows it. I've told him plenty of times how much, like, if it weren't for him in that moment of time, who knows if I would have woke up. Do you know what I mean? And realized, no, I can do it, because I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to turn to. I had a really great relationship with my old coach, Grant Smith, Still City. And it just, I fell out of love with the sport there towards the end. And I needed to change, but I didn't want to change because I didn't want to upset him. I didn't want all the media attention around my brother's world title fights and why Charlie left the gym off the back of this argument, when it weren't really to do with that. It was to do with personal issues within myself that I needed to address and move on. And yeah, so I've got to thank Joe a hell of a lot, because otherwise I don't know if I would have made the bold move to just jump straight back in, you know. And I thought of Joe before I left the UK. I thought I was going to go up to Joe and try him, but with all the stuff going on with my brother and with Steel City and everything. I didn't want to make that big move in that kind of time frame, and it just everything fell perfectly. Everything happens for a reason, I suppose. And then having the break away from boxing really made me really think and want it more than ever. So it's the first break I've ever took where I thought really like that's it for the whole of my career, which I'm now 17 years deep, coming up 18 years deep. That's the only time I've actually exited boxing in a way.
Yeah.
But it's done me the world of good because it brought everything back. And this year's going to be a massive year.
Well, yeah, it seems like it's taken a long time for you to get to where you are now, but it's really good that you are here. And it was a good, insightful answer to that last question. So I appreciate that. One more thing I want to touch on is just the current current bantamweights and super flyweights. Obviously, you've got Inoue, Donaire, Casemiro at bantamweight. Who do you rate the most out of that? I think there's kind of one that stands out, but who do you have as the best fighter out of the bunch?
To be honest, like they're all killers. Like, let's be real, like they're all killers. Like Donaire's a great fighter, but he's been there and done it all for so long. Is he coming to the back end of his reign and his time? Potentially. Inoue, massive puncher, absolute monster. So is Casemiro. So really, like, I wouldn't really highly rate anyone above anyone, because I believe if either one of them fought each other, it would all be a tough fight, and it could potentially either way sort of thing. However, I think Casemiro is clearly struggling for the weight now.
Yeah.
Whether he stays at that division there for much longer or if he steps up to super bantam, I believe Inoue will probably step up soon. He's cleared up the scene. He's probably got nothing else to prove, so he might want to go to new goals. Donaire, he's been up to weight divisions before. He's come back down. He's getting older now. Who knows what his future holds in the next year or so. But they're all monsters and they're all killers. Like I don't know who I would rate number one. You've got to really on paper rate Inoue. He's beat Donaire and he's undefeated and he can bang and he knocks everyone out. But I really rate Casemiro. I've been in the ring with him. I shared ring with him, and he's just gone from strength to strength up at bantamweight. But I don't think he'll be there very long. Yeah.
And then at super flyweight, I've written on my notes here Chocolatito versus Gonzalez, but that's the same person. I'm pretty sure you know who I'm on about. Yeah, Estrada versus Chocolatito.
Yeah.
The third fight, obviously, the first two were like some of the best fights you can watch in boxing.
Yeah.
Do you have a prediction for the third fight coming up this year?
Same again. It's who turns up on the night. They're both great fighters. Stylistically, their styles gel great. That's why the fights have been so good, and that's why we're seeing a third one. But most of all, they earn the most money fighting each other. So why are they going to fight anyone else when they can just earn millions fighting one another again? Makes a great rivalry. Same again. I think Estrada's the fresher fighter. Chocolatito's probably coming to the back end of his career, but he can still fight and he's still dangerous, and he could definitely take them belts back. So it's who turns up on the night for me.
Brilliant. Well, that was a really good interview. I enjoyed that. Thanks for your time from England over there to Portugal. Looks nice out there. So I hope you're enjoying your time. And when can we kind of expect you back in the UK for a training camp?
Well, like I'm training now. Like I've got a fight. Put it that way. I've been told some news this week. I'm back in camp now. Luckily enough, I've got my own home gym fully kitted out. So I'm doing my strength sessions. I've got my conditioning sessions, and I'm doing my boxing sessions right now. So I'm in pre-training camp, camp right now, getting my fitness, going for runs, being in the nice weather, eating clean food again. I'm literally waiting on Monday morning for a call, whether what's happening and whether I'm going to be flying back on Tuesday or not. So I'm on call to come back and get straight back into camp. So I'm just waiting and making sure everything's signed, sealed, and delivered before I jump ship. Because you know this boxing game, politics, everything. Don't want to get back to the UK and then everything fall underneath me, and then it puts me in a depressive state. So I should have some news next week. I'm just literally waiting on edge. Like, can't stop going in my gym at the moment because I'm thinking it's happening. It's going to happen. So. Yeah, fingers crossed we get some news tomorrow, and then it's all systems go.
Well, big news coming soon, Charlie. Thanks for your time, mate.
Nice one, mate. Thank you.